How to keep your pets live long, be healthy and strong by a great healthy diet. Here's Mark, my husband. He's going to demonstrate how he makes our pet food.
I got started when Nancy was making the food and I offered to help. I wound up not only stirring, taking over the whole production. So what I like to do is I get my oatmeal kind of cooked. It's still a little warm, so I can add coconut oil to it and have the coconut oil melt. But I don't want the oatmeal too hot, so we don't want to keep the food raw. So then we're gonna mix in some vegetables, which I've got here, some fruit, eggs, and then our meats. I've also got a dry mix that's wheat germ, oat bran, spirulina, chlorella, a variety of nutrients all put in there. And we make that ahead of time, keep it in the cupboard so we can use it when we need it. I should say these containers are really good because we want to keep the food fresh for a few days and not let it get stale.
So we're using glass containers. They last about 3 days of food, and we leave the rest in the freezer and take them out as we need.
So now we're adding a little bit of olive oil.
This is the dog food recipe. We'll give you our cat food recipe another day.
These eggs are a little small, so we're going to do 3 in each.
Those are from the Matthews Farmers Market. Those are medium size, not large. Otherwise, he'd normally do 2. They're from pasture-raised, antibiotic-free eggs.
And then Nancy keeps the shells for the garden.
We dry them, rinse them, bake them quickly, and then puree them so they're fine. Put them in the garden to add more nutrients and balance it out. Our dog, here he's watching, he's 13 years old, and he's been eating this diet since we got him. And we've been doing this for 30 years, so all our animals have lived very healthy. And he goes on a 3-mile power walk with me every day, is great and very strong, and it keeps our vet bills down. Now the food cost is more, but the vet bills are almost non-existent, because our dogs and cats are so healthy because of this natural diet. And this is the diet that's close resemble what they would eat in the natural wild if they were a pack of wild dogs. They wouldn't be cooking and dehydrating their food to make it a dry consistency like you'll buy in Costco. Instead, it'll be a raw diet. They'll catch some wildlife and graze on some vegetables and grass. And this diet kind of resembles what they would eat if they were fending for themselves. Low on pesticides, if not any. Most of our vegetables we buy at the farmer's market, so they're all organic. And you can make your own version. Doesn't have to be this. This is just what we've come up with, and it varies. The vegetables change based on the season. You can use a different grain. You don't have to use oatmeal. You can use rice, you can use farro, any good healthy organic grains.
Next I'm just going to puree all the vegetables or chop them up. We used to give the dog big chunks, but now that he's older he seems to prefer having it ground up a bit. So I'm going to grind that up and see you back after I do that.
Okay.
So you're back with us, so we're finishing up stirring up the vegetables. So this is kind of cooled off a bit, so that's why I can pick it up. We're going to mix in the oatmeal. Then I've put on some gloves to handle the meat. What we have is some chicken that I'm going to cut up. Bought some stewing beef. We got ground beef and some chicken neck. Now this ground beef was frozen. Thawed just enough to separate it. Now I don't necessarily stir all the meats right away because a lot of this is going in the freezer, and then I can mix it up better when I thaw it for consumption by our little guy here. Throw in the chicken neck.
We get these from Peaceful Meadows, a local farmer that I go to the Matthews Farmers Market and pick them up. But you can probably pick some up also at the Charlotte Regional Farmers Market. They have a lot of vendors that don't use antibiotics or hormones and give them a good feed, and their animals are pasture raised rather than cage raised. So you can get some really healthy meats that way. Mark supplements with some meats he buys at Sprouts or Fresh Market that are antibiotic free and pasture raised, puts in some chunks of chicken.
These are the chicken thighs, a little more economical than the breast.
When we're dishing out the food, we kind of give them a little bit of each meat.
All right, so we're gonna stir up one just a little bit. This is the one we're gonna give for dinner tonight. It's still gonna thaw a little bit, but we'll mix it up, get the meat flavor on all the vegetables, flavor on all the meat separated.
Turkey necks are another great option. Dogs love that. And if your dog is younger, our dog is not good on the big marrow bones anymore because his teeth are softer, but you should include some bones, raw bones for him to chew. And voila! Any last words, Mark, the chef?
Yeah, let's see how this thing works. Close it up, open that, press down, get some of the air out, helps keep it fresher.
Thanks, Mark.